What's going on, guys? E-Bibs here, Mr. Remote Life. I got a good one for you today. We are going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk about toilets and tenants. So I actually am living in one of my rental properties, right? So I want to show you guys how to basically deal with a leaky toilet. And this is some new technology that just came out. I just found out, and it's really pretty cheap solution, but it can save you a lot of headache and a lot of trouble, especially when you have a tenant in your place. So come along. Let's fix these toilets and so we can please our tenants. Alright guys, what's going on? E-Bibs here, Mr. Remote Life. So you seen the intro, you seen the thumbnail. Obviously you want to know what it is to fix the toilet for your tenant, because as stated before, I am actually living in one of my rental properties. So we're going to fix our toilet today because this joint is leaking and I had a nasty water bill. So, a little backstory. The little flapper, I'll show you guys in a second. It's old and it's malformed. That's what happens in the tank. It causes the toilet to basically leak out water down the drain. It's not leaking on the floor, so it's leaking down the drain. So the tank drains periodically throughout the day, and then it causes basically the tank to fill back up. So what that does is you have a constant running toilet, and well, it's sporadic, but it's constantly running throughout the day. And what that does is ultimately it's going to cause you to have a high water bill. So I found a quick solution that replaces the filler and the stopper. It eliminates all this old technology in toilets, so we can integrate some new technology and make our lives a little bit easier. So let's get to it. So here's our toilet. If you listen closely, you can hear it draining. But let's check it out, what's going on behind this thing. So see this little white thing down at the bottom that's called the little plunger or whatever. So what happens is when you flush a toilet, that comes up. It's supposed to fall. Everything fills back up. The ball lifts and stops from filling. Thing is, you see how this is broke? It's really not supposed to fill out of this nozzle. The water's coming out of here, which is it's not a big deal as long as water stays in the tank. Problem is, this thing down in here has a small seam. If you look right here, the water can basically seep out slowly. It's slow, but it's constant. So what you want to do is turn our water valve off. Because basically what we're going to replace is, we're going to replace the fill valve, we're going to replace the whole plunger set. So I'm going to drain out as much water as you can. Cool. So you see there is still water in the tank. So next thing you're gonna need is a little bucket. What we grabbed is basically little man's old base to his potty seat he ain't using in years. So we can slide that under here to catch the water. Because once we unscrew the fill valve, it's gonna basically leak down this little bit of water that's in there. And we can catch it all in that little bucket because that's all I got. So grab a good set of channel locks, a nice little bucket, and here's our handy dandy kit we're going to be using. The Corky Universal Complete Kit, where we basically are going to replace everything in the tank. Alright, so this actually, in order to change this out, I forgot, you actually have to take the tank off. So what you saw was like a little just sediment from this toilet's like 10 years old. So you saw the sediment and stuff from the toilet. So basically all we're gonna do here is take this tank off and swap out this little piece here. And easy way to do it is just work over a safe place. So we're gonna find that right now, probably the sink. All right, so the first thing you wanna do is remove this little sponge thing to expose the valve. Chuck this because it ain't gonna be used no more. Good old channel locks. can actually see the hole a lot quicker. So water presses on that and it just leaks. So bad design, old design, new design, complete coverage. See, it's at an angle this time. So this should last longer, we hope. We're gonna see. But before we do that, remove these old screws. As you can see, it's all empty. This thing just fits right in here. So when you're lining this up, you don't want to be on the same side as your valve filler. You kind of want to angle it this way. You can go ahead and take this time and hook it to the she works. All right. Take this ring, which is like the big white nut we pulled off. Go ahead and hand tighten it. Got your new and improved rubber gasket, and it just slides on here. Like so. Come on. There you go. Make sure that's snug. Because water drains out, fills up, drains out, fills up. So you want to make sure you don't have any possible leak areas. So we're gonna go with our new screws. New screws, new washers. You can use a washer, but since we're using the reusing the plastic wing tips, no need for a washer. Because what this does is it goes all the way up to hold this in place. So this has a slick little overflow tube. You can twist it to adjust it. Bring it up to here. Turn it back to tighten. That holds it in place. This little clip, all this does is it fits on the edge. But remember, your fill valve's on this side, so you don't want to overextend that. So get it to the level, which ain't going anywhere. All right, and now we have our new filler system, the new nut. So fresh rings. And all you need now is I will go ahead and put this tube on because it's easier to fit it while it's on your hand instead of you taking a chance and breaking it, trying to fit it inside the tank. Get fancy with it. So you want to reverse the order that you put things in, and then before you turn your water back on, run a quick test. Fill your cup up with water because you want to make sure you can control your leak and detect the leak before you have a leak. Fill your cup up with water. Pour that bad boy in there. Now would be a good time to if you want to clean this out, clean all that sediment out, is to get a shop vac and do all that. But ain't that serious to me. So, plunger works. Physically check And then you want to make sure when you're tightening, you tighten with the towel. So when you go and do a physical check, make sure you can tell whether or not it's wet under here or whether or not that wetness is from when you first took the tank off. So I don't feel anything. Everything seems to be extra tight. So overfill valve is too low. Bam. Alright guys, well that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something about toilets for your tenants or yourself basically. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. We got more stuff coming your way, more projects around the home, and more things that you can do to take control over your life, because that's what the remote life is all about, doing it for yourself. Alright, until next time guys, we out of here. Peace.